Hi, this is PD at BurgZerg Arcade at BurgZergArcade.com, and today we're going to continue on with our tutorial on loading up our stats from our player press file. So let's go ahead and open up Unity and our mono development. Okay, we're still into the load character data function of a game settings. And now mine's going to look a little bit different than what we had at the end of the last one. I've had some time to take a look at it, and I realized we were actually going about it the wrong way. So let me go over how we're going to be loading the vitals again. So we're going to have a for loop. This we had before. Now as far as getting the base value and the experience to raise it, those are the exact same. Now we're also loading the modified stats, and as I was looking through some of our code, I realized we don't actually have to, because if you were to look at the base character, every time we create one, we actually assign all the modifying attributes. So we don't actually have to save these or load them. They're automatically included with every character. So with that said, we can actually go up here and get the modifying attributes. And I'm just going to comment it out for now. Now this is in the save character stat, or save character data, because we don't need it. And I've removed all the code as far as, getting it, saving it to a string, then splitting the string, and then splitting the string again, and creating new modifying attributes and trying to save them or load them up and assign them to your character. We don't need to do that. We had created a function called update for each vital. So let's go look at the vital. Update is not in here, so naturally we want to look at what it's inherited from, modified stat. So we'll look at modified stat, which is right here. And here's our update function. And all we're doing right now is calling calculate mod values, which is right here. So this automatically goes through and recalculates all of our mod values, which, like I said before, we're setting every time the character is created. So we're just going to call that instead. It's much simpler. I knew there's a reason why I added that earlier. Then after we're done that, we're going to call or make a call to the get vitals, and we're going to get the current value. And it works just the same as the rest up above. Now I've set the default to 10. I'm actually going to change that to 1. And the reason why I'm doing this is if there's some sort of error when the character loads up, and for some reason there's no value there, or it has trouble getting the value, we don't actually want a 0 there, because we're going to be checking, and if the character's health ever hits 0, he's dead. So this way here, at least he loads up with 1 health point. So let's run this here. Well, I guess we'll save it off. We're going to run this here and take a look to see the output. So we'll hit play. Then we'll open up the console. And we'll notice we're getting the health of 60, energy of 120, and mana of 50. And if you remember in the last videos, that's exactly what we're supposed to have. So now that we have this done, let's move on to skills. Now skills is pretty much cut and paste of this. But I'm going to go up here and grab it right from here. We'll just simply come down here. Now I'm going to do it before the loop that we have to output the debug statements. I'm going to get rid of that commented line. We don't need that. And then instead of set skill, it's get skill. Now you want to make sure that you don't forget to change this to a get skill, because if you leave it as a set skill, it could potentially save some new value into your player press file, and when you go to load that back up, it's not going to be the value you do want when you actually realize you have it set to set int instead of get int, and you're just going to end up having to make another character to save to the file. So we're going to cut this out. I'm going to add a 0 as the default value, and I'll just add it to the front and put equals. So it's the skill name, everything looks good there. So again, cut that out, add a 0 as a default, paste it in front, put equals. Now we don't have a current value, So we don't have to worry about that. And again, we don't have to worry about modifying attributes. So I'm going to take this top line of the for loop again, paste it in here just so we can debug our skills now. Instead of vital name, I want our skill name. And then we don't want to output the current value of a vital. We're just going to output these here. So it's going to be base value. Then we're going to concat a simple space dash space, and then we'll put the experience to level. And then we'll save it. And we'll head over to Unity and give that a quick test. So we got something, so let's take a look. So melee offense is 0. Remember, the first number is the base, and we only raise the base by spending experience. So all of them should be 0. And 25, experience to level it. And I believe I started mine off at 25. That's usually where I start them off. I'm just going to take a quick look just to make sure. So that was skills and experience to level 25. Perfect. Okay, so we now have a save function, a load function. I'm not going to be using start and update anytime soon. Generally, if I'm not using anything anytime soon, I just get rid of it. Now this project's actually getting quite a bit bigger than I originally intended. I originally intended to have very small hack and slash game. If you remember our first few tutorials where we had the cubes and the little flat ground and it chased us around and we could hit F to attack and whatnot, I was going to keep the game fairly simple like that, but since it's been so popular, I've decided to go quite a bit further with it. And because it's getting so much bigger, I'm actually going to spend the next few tutorials going over all of our classes, at least the ones that we're going to be keeping. And I want to go through and do like a really good commenting on them. And I'll also be going over every function as well. So if there's something that you don't understand, when I'm going over those functions in those videos, make sure you post down below and we can get that sorted out now. I'll also be introducing you to some of the basic debugging that you'll want to learn to do in Unity, at least in C# with Unity. Actually, it's going to work in JavaScript as well. And that's about it for this tutorial, so I guess I'll see you on Friday where we start going through and commenting and debugging. See you then. Bye-bye.